So we're here with Martin Blackman, who I used to work under at the Tennis Center at College Park. Martin has now moved down to Boca Raton. He works at the USTA. And Martin, what's your exact position there?
I'm the Senior Director of Talent ID and Development.
Okay, well, great. Tell me a little bit about how you got involved with ThanksUSA. How'd you get up here? And, tell us a little bit about the event.
Sure. I've known Bob Oken for about 10 years, and Bob supported our program at the Junior Tennis Champion Center. And about 5 years ago, he told me about ThanksUSA, what the goal was, what the funds were being used for, and that's when things were really heating up in Iraq. And then obviously, we went into Afghanistan. So, I mean, just kind of thinking about the sacrifice that the troops are making for us, and the fact that, education sometimes just isn't even a possibility for them. It was very easy to support it, and this is the 3rd year in a row I've played the event, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Well, let's switch gears real quick because yesterday was obviously the French Open final between Rafael Nadal and Robin Soderling, and I thought it was going to be a close match. I predicted Rafa to win, but obviously it wasn't. And what was your sort of take on what went wrong for Soderling or what Rafa did right?
I think there are a couple factors. One is that, Rafa just had a ton of confidence, just dominating the clay court season. I think two is that Soderling needed to win one of the first 2 sets to win the match. I think once Rafa got into the match and got the first set under his belt, the prospect of winning 3 sets in a row and hitting that extra ball every point, it was just a little bit too tough for Soderling. The defense that Nadal plays, as well as Fed plays, the defense is it's a different level.
Well, let's round this out by getting a couple instructional tips. Like you said, you're working for the USTA, you're developing juniors, and I learned a lot. For everybody out there, I learned a lot working under you a couple years at the Tennis Center. And you had a specific drill you were doing earlier with one of the kids here, and I was hoping you could talk a little bit about that,
yeah,
and maybe demo it.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the kind of principles in our philosophy of teaching is just really focusing on the fundamentals when kids are young. So one of the common mistakes that kids make is that when they're really young, they really want to hit the ball as hard as they can. And lots of times that translates into a backswing that's way too big.
Just a huge,
Exactly. And so what I was doing with that young man was I just got him to put his left hand under his elbow across his body so that he couldn't go any farther than here, and that his contact point came out in front, because it's almost impossible to hit the ball here with that left hand there. And I think doing that over time, maybe for 5 minutes, every day, in my experience, it really cleans up that problem.
And that's something you could practice in your living room or in front of the mirror to make sure you have it.
Sure, you could do that, or you could do it on a ball machine. But it's a really good way to clean up the backswing. Another good way to make sure that you don't have excess backswing is to kind of raise that left foot so that you limit your backswing and you limit the movement, so that you just go here with that unit turn and you make contact here. And that really reinforces the load as well. So those were the 2 things I was working on with that young man.
So by forcing yourself to stay balanced, it kind of cleans up the technique a little bit, and you can't get too extraneous or you'll fall over.
Exactly.
Well, Martin, thanks again for being up here. Great cause, and it's great to see you.
Thanks a lot, Will. Great seeing you.